Good morning students. In this video I am going to teach you the new chapter unit 3. The heading of unit 3 is control flow and function. So in unit 3 you are going to study in detail about the different control flow statements and then about the continuation of function, that is about fruitful function. Right, at the end of the particular unit you are having some illustrative examples also. Okay. So for the first half you are going to study about control flow statements. Okay. So but this is the flow diagram that represents the complete control flow structures that are present in the Python programming language. Okay. So for first, control structure. So control structure is majorly divided into two categories. One is conditional statement, another one is unconditional statement. Okay. So for conditional statement means it will work based on a condition, right? Based on a condition some process will done, right? So that is called as conditional statement. So unconditional statement means these statements will execute without checking any condition. So that is the major difference between conditional statement and unconditional statement. Okay. So again this conditional statement is divided into two. One is called as branching statement, another one is called as looping statement. Okay. So the branching statement, that is under this branching statement you are having four different types of branching. One is called as if, right? That is the branching statements can be implemented by four ways. One is mentioned as if, that is simple if statement. Next one is if else statement. Another one is if else statement, or you can call this as else if ladder. Okay. So last one is nested if else statement. Like this branching statements can be implemented by these four different ways. So next one is about looping statement. So looping statement you are having two different loop. One is while loop, another one is for loop. So what is the difference between branching statement and looping statement means? So based on a condition branching and looping will work, right? So if you are considering branching statement, based on a condition it will execute only one or two statements. That is, it will execute some statements only once. That is the execution of branching statement. Based on a condition, any one of the branch will get executed only once. That will happen under branching statement. So if you are taking looping statement, so what is meant by loop means, that is till a condition becomes false, some statements will get repeated or executed again and again, right? Some same set of statements that will get executed one or more times based on a condition. So right, such statements are called as looping statement. This is the difference between branching and looping. So branching will execute based on a condition only once. Looping statement will execute based on a condition again and again. Okay, so that is a difference. Next part is about unconditional statement. So from the word itself you can able to understand unconditional. So unconditional means here there is no need to check any condition. Along with the control flow of your program execution, if you are encountering any one of this particular statement, break, continue or pass, that is your program execution will get altered in some other way. That is without checking, without any condition. If you need to alter a program execution means we can go for this unconditional statement. So under unconditional statement, three different statements are there. One is break, another one is continue and another one is pass. Okay. These are the common overview about control structure. Right. So in this video we are going to concentrate only on this branching statement, about this branching statements alone. How to write the syntax for if, how to write the syntax for elif, and with some examples we are going to concentrate only on this particular branching statements. Okay. Right. So branching statement. So branching statement, it is having some other, it can be mentioned with some other names also. The other names are selection statement, decision making statement. Okay. So for branching statement it can be otherwise called as selection statement and decision making statement. So why we are providing such name means, based on a condition it will select, that is this if else and nested if else, all those things, it will take a particular path, right? Based on a condition, if the given condition is true, one path will be taken. If the condition is false, another path will be taken, right? Another path will be selected. Okay, so that it is mentioned as selection statement, or it is moving on one side, right? So that's why it is mentioned as branching, true branch or false branch. You can mention it like that. So decision making means in order to take a decision, right? That is which is greater or which is smaller, whether it is equal or not. Like that, if you need to take a decision or you need to check a condition means you can use these statements. So that the names are provided like this. Either it can be called as branching statement or selection statement or decision making statement. Okay, so in your university questions, with any one of these name, question can be asked, right? So explain in detail about selection statement, or explain what are the different branching statements present in Python, or they can mention it like this, give explanation about decision making statements in Python. So whatever it may be, all these represents about the explanation of if else, if else and nested if. Okay, so right. So but let us see the types of this branching statements one by one. Okay, so but the first statement is if statement. Okay, so by if statement it is otherwise called as one way branching, or you can mention it as simple if. Okay, so but why it is called as one way branching means, here we are providing a condition, that is we are checking only one condition, and it will provide a result whenever the given condition is true, right? Whenever the given condition is true, at that particular time it will take a decision, right? It will provide some output, so that it is called as one way branching. If the condition is false means we will not get any result, right? We can't able to take any decision. Whether the given condition is false means we can't able to take any decision. If the given condition is true, it will provide a proper solution, so that it is called as one way branching. Okay, right. So in order to study about this particular statements and all, we need to know the syntax, right? Syntax is nothing but that is the way to write or the way to represent the statement, right? It is a predefined way, right? The developer of Python programming, the developer has designed that is the statements must be used in this way, right? So that it is called as rules, right? In this way you need to write the if condition. Okay, so that the rules are mentioned in programming languages as syntax, right? But based on the syntax only you can able to write a program in a proper way. So according to that, the syntax of if statement is, so here if it is a keyword, right? So always keyword will start with small letters, right? So if is a keyword followed by a condition. You can provide any condition, right? A greater than B, or A greater than 10, or A greater than 20, like that. The if keyword must be followed by a condition. You can provide a condition. The condition must be followed by the symbol colon, right? This colon will represent the end of the header, that is the if header portion. Okay, so a colon. So followed by that, the next line you can include the statements, right? If the condition is true, whatever statements wants to be executed, that statements can be included next to the if condition. So another one important thing is, followed by this if after this colon, whatever statements you are writing means those statements must be written with the proper indented space, right? So a particular tab space must be there, right? So this tab space represent the indentation space. But why we are providing indentation means, in Python, if, that is while writing a block, we are not at all mentioning the starting and ending of a block with curly bracket. In other programming languages, we will usually use that, right? To represent the starting of a block, we will use a curly bracket, and to end the block again you will use a close curly bracket. But in case of Python, we are not at all using that opening and closing curly bracket. So in order to represent the starting of a block, this indentation will say that this is the starting point of a block, right? So again, whenever you are unindenting the particular statement means it represents the end of a block. So that here you need to provide the indented space. So what is meant by indentation space? Providing a tab space. From your keyboard, if you are pressing the tab for once, it is represented as a indented space. You can enter one tab or 4 spaces. Okay. So right, so but this is the syntax for simple if or one way branching, right? If followed by a condition, the condition must be terminated by colon, right? So next to that you can write the statements. Okay. So but if the given condition, if the condition is true, if the given condition is true, the following statement will get executed. Okay. So it was taking only one condition, right? One condition, and it is providing the true part alone. Okay. So it can be represented in a diagrammatic way like this. So while drawing the flow chart, this is a symbol used to represent a condition, right? Based on a condition, if the condition is true, some statement will get executed. If the condition is false, nothing will happen. Okay. So like this. So this is the flow chart representation or semantic representation of this simple if. We are providing a condition. If the condition is true, some statement will get executed. If the condition is false, automatically the next statement will get executed. Okay. That is, the false part will not be considered. Okay. So but let us see an example for this. Let us see an example Python program example. So first we can get a value as input. So print enter a value. We can represent it as the variable x is equal to, I was getting an integer value as input. So I was writing the statement as x assignment operator int of input. Okay. So next, followed by this, I was writing the if statement. If x greater than 0 colon. Okay. So but this is the if header, right? If is the keyword, followed by that the condition is given, right? X greater than 0, it is a condition, it is terminated with colon, right? But if this condition is true, what should be the output? That will be considered as the body part of if statement. Okay. So but if this condition is true, providing a tab space, I was writing print x is positive. The given x value is positive. Okay, right? So otherwise, followed by if, right? So this is the indented space and this is the unindented space. So what is the meaning of this? Inside this particular if block, it contains only one print statement, right? The body of the if part, the if statement contains only one print statement. Okay. So followed by this, I was writing another one, end. Okay, right. So during the execution of this particular program, what will be the output? This particular program is used to check a given value is positive. If it is positive, you will get a result, right? If the given value is negative, you will not get any result. Okay, since we had written only one way selection. Okay, so for example, in the output, we can consider first the displayed value will be enter a value. Enter a value, I was entering the value as 10. Okay. So but 10 is the value that is stored in the variable x. So x contains the value 10 now. So followed by the statement, next if statement is written, right? If you are checking the condition, what is the condition? We are checking it 10 greater than 0. What happens to this condition? 10 greater than 0, whether it is true or false, 10 is greater than 0, condition is true, right? But if the given condition is true, means what happened? It will execute the statement present inside the if statement. That is, this print statement will get executed and you will get the output x is positive. X is positive is the result. Okay. So followed by that, automatically the next print statement will also get executed. Accordingly, you will get the output end also. Understood? Okay, so if I am entering the value as a positive value, I will get the output. So in the same case, if I am entering the value as, for the next time I was entering the value as minus 5. Now what will be the result? What is the value of x now? I was entering the value as minus 5. So the condition is checked like this, minus 5 greater than 0. Whether the condition is true or false. Minus 5 greater than 0, the condition is false. Okay. So if the condition is false, this statement will not get executed, right? The statement, that is the control, the program control will not enter inside the if statement. Okay. Since the reason is the given condition is false now. Okay. So automatically what happened? That according to the flow of execution, the next line followed by the if statement will get executed, right? So that you will get the output only end. You will not get the result whether the entered value is positive or negative. Okay, so but this is the flow of execution of the simple if statement or one-way branching. Everyone understood? So, okay. So next we can see the second statement, that is called as if else. If else statement. Okay. The second statement is, it is if else. So if else statement, it is otherwise called as two-way branching. Two-way branching. Two-way branching, or you can call it as alternative branching. Alternative branching. Okay. You can call it as if else, or it is called as two-way branching statement, or it is otherwise called as alternative branching statement. Okay. So the syntax to represent this if else is, right, if followed by a condition. If followed by a condition colon, that is the statement belongs to if. Statement 1 and statement 2. You can include as many number of statements, right? So followed by this, you are having another one part that is called as else, and it must be that is ended with colon, right? Else colon. Under that also it can include some other statements. Statement number 3 and statement number 4, like this. Okay. So but this is the syntax for if else. So it is having both true part and false part, right? So but the working of this if else is, here if the given condition is true, the following statements, these statements will get executed, right? Statement 1 and statement 2 will get executed if the given condition is true. At the same time, if the given condition is false, means what happen means automatically it will execute the else portion. If the given condition is false, what happen? That is the statements present under else portion will get executed. Okay. So in two-way branching or if else, based on a condition, if it is true, some set of statement will get executed. If the same given condition is false, means some other statement that was present under else part will get executed. Okay. So based on a condition, anyway you will get an output, whether the condition is true or false. Okay. So in the previous simple if, we can able to get the output only if the condition is true. But in case of if else, right? So there is a drawback in if, right? If the condition is false, we will not get an output. Okay. So in order to rectify that thing, in order to rectify that particular drawback, they are introducing if else. So based on a condition, if the condition is true, the first set of statements followed by if will get executed. If the given condition is false, means what happen? The statements followed by else part will get executed. Okay. So but this is the execution of if else. Okay. So right, let us see an example. Right, again we are getting a value as input. So now we are going to see a program to find out a number is odd or even, whether the entered value is odd or even. Okay. So in order to check a number is odd or even, we need to get a value as input. So that I was getting a value x as input, an integer value x as input. So followed by that, we need to write the condition. Since we need to take a decision, right, whether the entered number x is even or odd. But in order to take a decision, we need to use this branching statement. Okay. So by if the input value x mod 2 is equal to 0 colon, right. So this is the condition. If the input value divided by 2 and if it returns, what is the meaning of this mod symbol? If you are doing division using mod, you will get the remainder value. Okay. So while doing the division, if the remainder value is equal to 0 means what happened? What is the meaning? The entered value is an even number, right. So otherwise what happened? Otherwise the number is an odd number. Okay. So but this is the logic used to check a number is odd or even. Okay. So if the given condition is true means what will be the output? Print, that is x is even. The value x is even. Otherwise portion is mentioned by the keyword else. Else is also a keyword, right. Else print the value x is odd. Okay. So but this is a program to find a number is odd or even. Here we are using if and else. Okay. So let us see the output. What will be the output? First, the first statement, the first print statement will get executed as it is. You will get the string, enter a value displayed in the output screen. Followed by that, next is an input statement. So your output screen will wait for input, right. So I was providing an input 21. Right, 21 is my input. So the 21, the value 21 will present in the variable x, right. Within this variable x, I was assigning the value, now it has 21. So followed by that, we are checking a condition. What is the condition? You are dividing 21 mod 2. 21 mod 2 is equal to 0. What happened to this condition? 21 divided by 2, what is the remainder? The remainder value is 1, right. So you are checking that 1 in this particular position, you are getting the remainder as 1. You are checking 1 is equal to 0. Whether 1 is equal to 0, whether the condition is true or false, the condition is false. If the given condition is false, what happen? If the given condition is false, automatically the else portion will get executed. Right. So accordingly you will get the output. What will be the output then? X is odd. Understood? Whether the entered value 21 is an odd number or even number, it is an odd number. Okay. Understood? So this is an example to represent if else. In the same example, if I am entering the value of x as 18, what happened now? Now the value of x is 18. For the second time I was entering the value of x as 18. What will be the value then? 18 mod 2. 18 divided by 2, what is the remainder? The remainder value is 0, right. But 0 equal to 0, whether the condition is true or false. Now the condition is true. So if the given condition is true means what happened? That is the statement followed by if will get executed. So that you will get the output x is even. Understood? Right. So right, so but this is an explanation for if and else. Understood, ma? Okay. So right, so but this is the second part under branching statement. Right, first we have seen if, second we have seen if else. Okay. So next, third thing is about if elif else. If elif else. Right. So by if elif else, it is otherwise called as chained conditional. Chained conditional. You can mention it as chained conditional, or it is called as if else ladder. Right. If else ladder. Okay. So the other name is the other name for if elif else is chained conditional or if else ladder. Okay. So the syntax is, so if followed by the first condition. We are going to use more than one condition now. Condition number 1, the statement followed by condition 1. Otherwise, elif, right? ELIF, again ELIF is a keyword, right? ELIF, elif followed by the second condition, condition number 2 colon, followed by the statement number 2. Right? So, like this you can add as many number of elif statements, right? If I need to check 5 condition, I can include 5 elif statement. If I need to check only 2 elif statements, means I can enter 2 elif statement, right? So, it will continue up to n, elif up to condition n in general, right, followed by the statement, right, statement number n. Okay. So, at last you need to write the else part, right, at last you need to write the else part, else followed by colon. Always remember, if you are using else means followed by else, you should not provide a condition, right. If must be followed by a condition, elif must followed by a condition, but else will not followed by a condition, else always followed by colon, right, else colon and the statement of else. Okay. So, but this is the syntax for if, elif, else. Understood? If condition 1, elif condition 2, elif condition 3, it will continue up to n condition. At last you need to write the else part. Okay. So, but why we are using this if, elif, else means, in some cases there may be some need to check more than one condition, right. So, at that particular point we can use this if, elif, else. Okay. So, we are providing continuous condition, right. If condition 1 is true now, statement 1 will get executed, right, immediately it will get stopped, no other condition will be checked. So, in case if condition 1 is false means what happened? It will go to check the second condition. Again second condition is false mean it will go for the third condition. If third condition is true, only that part will get executed, the remaining part will not get executed, right. But based on the condition, which condition is matched, that set of statements will get executed. Okay. So, if I am writing n condition, all the n conditions are false means at that particular time the finally given else parts will get executed. Understood? So, this is the working procedure of if, elif, else. Okay. The thing is, in between if and else you can add n number of elif statements, that is elif conditions, that is the meaning, right. First we have seen simple if, next is if and else alone, next one is if, elif, else, right. But in between if and else you can add as many number of elif statements in order to check more than one condition. Okay. So, but let us see an example to implement this if, elif, else. Okay. So, we are going to check a number is greater or smaller or equal, right. We are going to check two numbers whether they are greater than each other or smaller among each other and or whether they are equal, right. So, we need to get two numbers as input, two numbers are needed, so that we can assume x as the first number, enter two values, right. So, second number we can consider it as y, int of inputs. We are going to compare these two numbers, right, x and y, that is the program. We are going to compare x, whether x is greater than y or y is greater than x, or whether x and y are equal, right, that is our program. So, in order to compare two numbers are needed as input. So, accordingly we are getting x as a number and y as second number, right, two numbers as input. So, next we are going to check the condition if x greater than y, right. What is the meaning of this? If x greater than y means x is greater than y, means which is greater, what should be the output? X is greater, right. So, we are printing print x is greater. X is greater. Next, elif x less than y. This is my second condition, right? X less than y. What is the meaning of this? X is less than y. Now, what will be the output you need to print? Print y is greater, right? Y is greater, or you can print it as x is smaller. Okay. So, otherwise, if these two conditions are false, means I was going to write the third thing. If x is not greater, x is not smaller, means what happened? Automatically else part, in the else portion, both are equal, right? Print both are equal. Okay. So, right. So, but this is my program. So, okay. So, let's check with an manual input. Right. First, it is enter two values. As going to enter two value, we can consider it as 5 and 10, right? 5 and 10. So, what is the value of x now? It is 5. What is the value of y? It is 10. Okay, 5 and 10. So, first condition, I was taking it as 5 greater than 10. 5 greater than 10. What happened to this condition? 5 greater than 10, the condition is false. Okay. So, if the given first condition is false, automatically you are going to check the second condition, right? So, you are shifting it to the elif part. Elif part, you are checking 5 less than 10. What happened to this condition? 5 less than 10. Whether it is true or false, it is true, right? But if it is true, means you will get the output y is greater, right? You will get the output y is greater. Y is greater, that's all, right? So, if this condition is true, only the elif part will get executed, not the next else part will get executed, right? Which particular condition gets satisfied, that particular part will get executed. That particular part alone will get executed, okay? So, according to our input, you are getting y is greater, okay? So, let us assume another one example. Both values are 5 now, right? The value of x is 5 as well as the value of y is 5. What happened here? 5 greater than 5, whether condition is true, condition is false. Again, you are moving on to the elif part here. 5 less than 5, whether condition is true, again condition is false. So, you are moving on to the else part, right? So, by else part you will get the output, both are equal. Both values are equal. Understood, right? So, this is an example for if, elif, else. Okay, if, elif, else, it is otherwise called as chained conditional or else if ladder. Understood? So, okay, so but this is the third part under branching statement. Okay, so next, the last one. The last part is called as nested if. Nested if. Fourth part is called as nested if else. Nested if else statement, right? So, but what is meant by this nested if else means, if we are providing a condition inside another one condition, the inside condition is called as nested, right? The nesting can be done either in the if part or in else part, okay? So, but the syntax for nested if else is, it will be like this. First, if we are providing a condition, right? If followed by condition number 1 colon, right? So, inside this if we are providing a condition, again I was providing another one condition, condition number 2, but condition number 2 was present inside if, right? Inside the first condition, that is inside the first condition, I had written the next condition. So, this part is called as nested if. Okay. So, if followed by its statement and its else part and its statement. Okay. So, the outer if can also have another one else colon. Inside this if else also you can include another one condition if there is a need, right? I can write if condition number 3 colon. right? Its statement, its else part and its statement, right? So, if else nested if else can be done in any way. We cannot able to provide a proper syntax for this. Depends upon our logic. You can include a if statement inside the if part or inside the else part. Okay. So, up here this if else is called as nested. This if else is called as nested if. At the same time, and under the else part also you are having an if. So, you can mention this also as nested. Okay. So, in simple way, if you are placing an if statement inside another one if statement or else statement, that is called as nested if else. Okay. So, that is the meaning of this nested if else. Okay. So, let us see an example for this nested if else. We can write the same program to find, that is to check whether two numbers are greater, smaller or equal, right? By this same program, or you can change another one program. Okay, we can check whether the number is positive, negative or 0. We can apply that another one program. The example is to find a number is positive, negative, or 0, right? You are going to find a number, right? So, you are providing an input as a single number and you are going to find out whether the entered number is a positive number, negative number or 0, but we are going to use this concept, nested if concept. Okay. So, accordingly I was getting a value as input. So, first condition if the input value x is greater than or equal to 0. I was checking the condition if the value x is greater than or equal to 0, means if it is true means again I was checking if x greater than 0, right. So, this is the outer condition and this is the inner condition. So, this is called as your nested if, right. If this condition is true, again if this condition is true, then only this condition will be checked. But if this condition is true means what will be the output? If x is greater than 0, the number is a positive. The number is positive number. Okay. So, if this condition is false, what happened? That is you need to print the entered value is 0. Okay. The entered value is 0. Again, if the first condition is false, means it represents the else part, right. I had written in that particular same indentation. So, this indentation is used to represent the corresponding if and the else. Okay. So, this is its indentation in a nested if, nested else. This is outer if and outer else. Okay. So, if the given condition is false means what will be the output? The entered value is negative. The entered value is negative. Okay. So, we can let us check with an example. So, while executing this particular program, what will be the output? First, the statement enter a number will be displayed, right. So, I was entering a value 10, right. So, currently the value of x is given as 10. What will happen for this condition? I was checking that 10 greater than or equal to 0. Whether the condition is true, the given condition is 10 greater than or equal to 0. 10 is greater than or equal to 0, condition is true or false? It is true. So, you are entering inside this condition and you are checking the second condition, 10 greater than 0. Whether condition is true, this condition is true now. So, what will be the output? That is, you will get the value positive, right. The entered number is positive. Understood? Let us see the same example with another one value. Let us consider the value as minus 5. Okay. So, minus 5 means what is the value of x now? X is considered as minus 5. Okay. The input value x is minus 5, followed by that we are checking a condition. What happened to this condition? Minus 5 greater than or equal to 0. You are checking the condition like this, minus 5 greater than or equal to 0. What happens to this condition? The condition is true or false? The condition is false. So, the outer condition itself becomes false. so that the corresponding else portion will get executed, right. So, you will get the output negative, right, you will get the output negative alone, okay. So, right, so if the given condition, if the outer condition is false, the corresponding outer else will get executed, okay, it will, that is the inner condition will not be checked. If the given condition is true, then only it will enter inside the nested condition, okay. So, for the value -5, you will get the output as negative, right. So, next see the value with the 0, right, let us enter the value, the next value as 0. So, what happened to the x value now? The value of x value is considered as 0 now. So, next you are checking the condition 0 greater than or equal to 0. What happened to this condition now? 0 greater than or equal to 0, whether it is true or false, the outer condition is true, right. If the outer condition is true, automatically next you are going to check the inner condition, that is the nested condition. So, here next nested condition 0 greater than 0. What happened to this if? The nested if 0 greater than 0, condition is true or false? It is false, okay. But if this if condition is false, the corresponding this else will get executed, right. So, initially the outer condition is true, so you are checking the inner, that is nested if. Here for this example, the value of x is 0, the nested condition is false, so that the corresponding else will get executed, so that you will get the output as the string 0. The entered value is 0, okay. So, but this is the working procedure of nested if, okay. So, everyone understood, students? So, in this video, we have seen the complete thing about the branching statement. So, under branching statement, what are the things we have discussed about if? If is otherwise called as simple if or one-way branching, okay. Second, we have seen about if else. What is the other name for if else? Two-way branching or alternative branching or alternative conditional, okay. Third, we have seen about if else. It is otherwise called as multi-way branching or that is else if ladder, okay. So, finally, we have seen about nested if else, providing a if condition inside another one if, that is called as nested if condition. Like this, we are having 4 parts under this branching statement, okay. I hope students you have understood this particular topic. Thank you.